Hello, my fellow couch potatoes. It is SA.TV girl, and today we're going to be reviewing the greatest and the bestest Naija Netflix series, King of Boys: The Return of the King. Yo, guys, I'm so excited. You know what? Let's just get into this video. Guys, I am so over the moon because Netflix and Keppy Ekpeyoung just did the best thing ever. They just dropped King of Boys, the series. Blown. This was nothing shy of brilliant. In short, let me just scratch it and say this is not a review. This is a rave, okay? So we're going to be starting off this rave by talking about the plot. We actually see Alhaji Eniola, unannounced, returns from her 5-year exile to come and rattle the cages of her enemies, both old and new, as we'll find as she announces that she was going to be running for governor of Lagos State. And as soon as she does that, we see that she loses her close allies in a time when she needs them the most, because she's actually dealing with her inner self, her younger self, in a search for redemption for her soul, because she feels very guilty for the death of her 2 children.
All the different sections are going to be in the timestamp, so make sure to use that so you can go to the areas of this review or rave that you want to see first.
The cast, oh my god, guys, the cast was spectacular. The women of King of Boys, they weren't that many, but they carried the show. Let's just start from the top. Sola, Sobowale, a veteran actress. She's actually the lead character. She played Alhaja Salami. Oh, she finished work. In short, she taught me the definition of acting. There was no point in this series that I felt like she dropped the ball. Where? Drop what? She did not. I actually found that I enjoyed her scenes more when she was actually speaking Yoruba. Like, she made me love it, and that is acting. She made me feel her emotions. She made me feel the I'm sad, I'm confused, I'm looking for peace, I just want to change. I mean, like, all the feels, she gave it to me. Toni tones. That's all I can see. Like, yo, that was sick. The way, see, it was the way she was speaking the Yoruba for me. Like, the way she'll be insulting her present day self, Sola Sobowale, like, Oponu. As in, when she said the Oponu, it hit me like, oh my god, that lady is a star. See, I love Sola Sobowale and I love Toni tones, and I know they did great. I've just raved about them. But insane, my darling, introducing the Queen Red herself. Ooh, with the accent, with the tonation, the way she speaks. Insane. Oh my god, she was so good. See, give me a thumbs up or just be like, I don't know, do something crazy in the comment section if you actually agree with what I say. Like, she was so good. I love Nse. I love the way she acts. She just has this poise, this courage, the way she was pursing her lips and talking to her husband.
Like, I actually want to talk like that, but I can't. I think I might be too pedestrian.
Oh my god, guys, another lady that killed it is actually her mother-in-law, Chief Randall, played by Taiwo Ajayi.
That woman is a definition of a bad bitch.
See, that Taiwo Ajayi didn't have too many roles. Matter of fact, she only had, I said too many roles, too many scenes. Matter of fact, she only had 2 scenes. But you see those 2 scenes? Those 2 scenes were great. She just had this air of arrogance, of I'm rich, I have connections, don't tell me nothing. And of course, I cannot overlook my baby boy for life, RMD, who played Reverend Ifeanyi. See, every every scene where they showed Reverend Ifeanyi, I was just laughing. I don't know if it's RMD's hair, because typically he goes like, he's typically bald. He really gave me the right vibe of fake pastor. Another person that I had to give some accolades to is Deyemi Okolawo. Oh my god, I actually like this guy. I've never seen him act in any movie where he is acted poorly. By the way, he acted as the campaign manager. Oh, he was so good. He made me laugh. To me, he was actually the king of facial expressions in this series. Like his face when the woman says, when Eniola Salami says something to him, like, okay. And that's when you know someone is a good actor, when they can act with just their face. Like, I am so heavy on facial expressions, and he did not disappoint. Now, I don't want to be biased in my review and be like, everybody was so great, because there were some not so great actors, and I just have to mention it right now. I was a little bit disappointed in Bliss. Maybe not disappointed, but his acting didn't impress me. I could see his poor acting, the way he was communicating with his kids. He was supposed to be like the Don Corleone, like the Igbo Don Corleone, you know? And aside from him speaking Igbo, I was just like, okay, I get it. Odogwu Malay is okay. Another person that, and this one, he had a very important role, is Titi Kuti, who played Ade Tiger, her Eniola Salami's closest bodyguard. Sometimes when he's reciting his line, you hear him, I actually said recite, it felt like he was reciting his line as opposed to acting it. It wasn't believable. Like, he kept falling out of it. If you do that, to be on, let's just be honest. Like, let me know what you think about it. Sometimes I was just like, it's okay. So let's now talk about the cinematography, which was epic, if you ask me. The picture quality was script. I love the angles. There was one scene where I think they were going to, I don't know who it was, well, a guy was walking, right? The way they showed his shoe, they now showed the back of his head. They did a lot of shots that made you want to see the face of the person. Like, they captured that mystery very well from the way they shot, from the angles. I like the way they would show the action from the shadows, in particular when Odogwu Malay died, like when they beheaded him and the blood was like spilling out. I liked that they didn't show us like gory, because it would have been, I felt for someone like me that would have been too much. The lights created a mood. The lighting was really good. When Ade Tiger was in the kitchen, I had like this pinkish, they had like this pinkish light vibe thing going on. See, when I was watching it, I was like, because I actually make vlogs, like lifestyle vlogs. In case you don't know, I have another YouTube channel called, actually my name, Reminisce, make sure you check it out. I was just like, Essie, take notes on how you're going to be shooting your vlogs, because I see I'm about to blow up on this, my video editing game. But let's come back to what we're talking about now. The music. Hey, see, I don't remember much of the music, but one thing I can say about the music is I loved it. Like, they gave me, for every scene there was a very nice music. But I think for me, what I loved was the Yoruba music. See, I'm not even Yoruba, but I enjoyed it. It felt like they were reciting some oriki. Like I said, I'm not Yoruba, so I don't know what they were talking about, but it just felt good. Like when they show Eniola Salami and they're like, damn, I swear it was sweeting me. It was doing me like, ee. And then when they now show Jumoke Randall, they will now play some almost classical soundtrack vibes. I was like, you people took note of the tiny details. These things, this is what makes a movie great. Let's dissect the costume. When I say costume, I'm talking about 3 main people. Take a guess right now. Of course, Sobowale, Charlie Boy. It's let's talk about Sobowale's looks, okay? You know, she's playing king of boys, so some of her outfits were like feminine interpretation of a masculine look. Case in point, when she went to have her discussion with the president and she had like this Fulani Hausa man head wrap with her white almost agbada cape, like, see, I can't even describe that look. I was like, by the way, Sobowale, pink is your color. Short pastels, your color, baby girl, your color. That blue, that with the head wrap, it is the head wraps for me, my people. The turban, and then Nse's. Is it the red dress in the first scene when she went to meet her husband? Like, I saw the way they kept introducing the red, like her lips, her shoes. She was giving me Devil Wears Prada vibes. Or is it the look that she wore when she went to go and meet Aare in jail? Head to toe, the checkered look, the hat. Guys, let me know in the comment section which look did it for you for Insane. The makeup was very, very good. Like, all the ladies, when I was looking at their makeup, I was like, this is how you do makeup. I didn't see anyone with too much bronzer. It looked very realistic. They played with palettes that suited their skin. Sobowale, of course, the pink lips, the gloss was nice. For Insane, it was the matte red lip, like that red. I'm pretty sure that red lipstick is Fenty, because only Fenty that can be popping like that. Then, of course, staging and location. This movie was shot, or this series was shot in Lagos, but thank you to whoever chose what they were going to show. Thank you for not showing us or overshowing. In short, I didn't even see the London, I said the London Bridge, the Lagos Bridge, that's Island Eco Bridge. Thank you for not showing us a different way. And in particular, I want to mention this scene again, that scene where Sobowale met Insane at the Chai Tang restaurant. The intro of that scene, they showed us like the beach, water. I'm not even kidding you. When I watched that part, I was like, oh, they traveled abroad. Who is abroad? Like, it didn't feel or look like Lagos until they came into the restaurant. Noteworthy staging that I really liked was Aare's cell. Like, in the beginning, I didn't, when he was on the phone and he was like, oh, tighten security around my cell, I was like, which cell? And then I got it. They showed us how a rich politician in Nigeria's cell will look like. Very well staged. Like, that cell, I loved it. Now we've come to the juiciest part of this review, the storytelling, the story in itself. Oh my god, guys, the story for me was made by the intro and the end. Everything in between was good, but you see that intro and the end, they paid attention to it, and I love it. The intro more than the end for me personally. The intro was very good, and the reason why I liked it is because the intro kept me invested. The intro let us know or put us in that emotional headspace that Eniola Salami was in. Like, that beginning scene was very powerful. That scene where the like, from the get-go, like the moment I started the series, I just saw her whipping herself with the horsewhip, and I was like, oh girl. I love that they showed us her grief, particularly the scene at the grave when she was crying, and I could see the pain. I could feel the pain. There was that scene where she told her new maid, like, is there Pepe in the house? In my mind, I'm like, what? Like, is this supposed to be some sort of penance? Like, are you going to drink hot pepper water? Like, which human being is sane enough to do that? And then the now show was that she was actually dipping the cane, like I said, the whip in it and flogging it. I was like, oh, The thing that they did very well in terms of storytelling was establishing who every other person was. We know the story. Yes, the story is about Eniola Salami, but all the other players, like, what about them? The old ones and the new ones. I really liked that they kept some of the old cast, and I feel like the story changed a little bit from what it was about in the first part, and I liked that it continued nicely. Like, yes, that part we saw her, they helped us understand who she was as king of boys in part 1, and this part we're seeing her wanting to take it a step further by becoming governor, and now she's amassed new enemies. And of course, I've raved about Inse enough. I liked that other story. This is a new villain they were introducing, but actually I don't even know whether to call her the main villain, but they introduced her so early on. They showed us what was at stake for her. The governorship was at stake for her. I liked the way the story developed. Like, at some point in the story, I was asking myself, like, okay, Eniola Salami, Eniola, like, please, this your goody two shoes. You need to stop. Like, show these people. Not let me use curse words here. Show these people who you really are. Like, why are they trying to trample on you? What's that rubbish? Hey, like, I wanted her, like, every time they showed her younger self really insulting her and like telling her, like, do what you need to do. You know, like, these people are taking you for a fool. Especially when Jumoke Randall will be like facing off with her numerous times. I'm just like, like, I started losing hope, and that's good storytelling. Like, I was like, I think this, because it's a limited series, I knew they had to sort of end it in a good way. I was like, don't tell me that after everything this woman would just die. That's how the story got me. But I was like, she can't die. Like, the name of this series is King of Boys, the Return of a King. And like, you know what the end should be, but you're not sure because of the way the middle is going. Although a few episodes, I won't lie, in as much as I want to praise this series, it was good. And again, they can't get it all perfectly. Some episodes were a little bit dry. Okay, not dry, but they dragged, particularly episode 5, where a good chunk of it was Dakpo arguing with his wife. I was just like, okay, it's okay. Like, can we move it along? They had a number of scenes like that was overplayed. The final episode was like, oh shit, we've spent all 6 episodes acting a lot of things. We need to end it now. I got that a little bit in the final episode, but the end was still great. Don't get me wrong. See, don't even come for me. The end was epic. I loved it. Like, I liked the twists and everything, but it just dragged a little for me. Particularly the scene where Sobowale was like, they were going to kill her. Like, everybody was pointing guns at her. She was like, she rake. I was like, why do they always have to do this thing to bad guys where the bad guy will never just shoot their enemy once and let it end? Like, she rake. Later, she now low-key begged. I was like, oh, let me hand over nicely. Then she now started talk. I was like, even talk about my noteworthy scenes here. Jumoke Randall goes to meet her husband's mother, Chief Randall, to beg for assistance. See, I'm going to take my note and read it because she didn't go and beg. She went to solicit. Those were her words. She said, I have come. She said, I have come to solicit. You know, like, Chief Randall was like, beg, not solicit. When she now went down on her knees and she was like, I'm going to read it. She said,
I've come to beg for your assistance because I have hit a wall that requires your skillful maneuvering.
I was like, shut up. Oh, Taiwa Ajayi, you finish work. The way everything that came out of her mouth was very insulting to Jumoke Randall. And seeing how Jumoke Randall was portrayed as, you know, the villain, one of the villains actually, seeing her mellow in front of Chief Randall was nice. Yes, we had some noteworthy scenes, but there were some scenes that had question marks. Same with those two small boys, Chigol's children. Like, it did not make sense. You wake your little brother in the middle of the night and you're like, oh, come, let's go and see the dog. Okay, you were walking. You heard gunshots. Children, you did not run back. Rather, you went towards the gunshots. Like, make it make sense. Then the two children, now they were now looking. You saw them killing people. Then they were not chasing you. Your brother his leg was stuck. We don't even know what even caught his leg. Please now. For such a good movie, stop it. That's nonsense now. Then another big, huge question mark is, how in the world did Eniola Salami escape from that bomb? Like when the car exploded at the shootouts. Yeah. Then Makanaki, like the thing blew up in their face and everything, but they were in, like, all of a sudden they just disappeared into thin air. And what we see is at the end, they had reconciled. How? Like, I would have appreciated a scene where we see Eniola actually talking to Makanaki and like actually hashing things out and being like, because they were enemies. They were like the main enemies in part 1. So for them to just leave out that scene, for me, I just felt like this is a case of we've acted, we only have budget for 7 episodes. Oh, we cannot fit that part in. Let's just throw it in with a one-liner. No, that was poor. Another part that was poorly executed was the way they killed Aare. Like, a whole Aare is some Halloween dressed up type nurse walks majestically through the hospital and all the guards for some reason are asleep or they don't understand, and then she enters the room and he's like, oh, I'm not that sick, oh, I don't know this one that they're bringing in. Like, which sane nurse in a hospital will actually dress like that? No. That whole scene was rubbish. So yes, guys, that's it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about this movie. I'm going to rate this movie 9/10 just because it was that good. Most of it was good, like more good than bad, apart from all those scenes that I just mentioned. I think this movie was perfect. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts were about this movie, your favorite scenes, the scenes you didn't like, your favorites, your MVP, who was your best actor, and all of that good stuff. And thank you guys so much. So make sure to share, like, and subscribe, and until our next one, bye.